Well, let's take a closer look now at streaming giants and how they're shaping the film industry with Neil Mandt from Burbank, California. Neil is a partner in Mandt Brothers Productions. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off with the appeal of Cannes. Why is it considered so significant in the film industry, and who exactly does it cater to?
Well, first of all, it's a precursor to the Oscars. This is really all about awards. You're seeing the big studios trying to get their films into the marketplace where you have an Oscar buzz early. And so that's really the appeal, is it puts people on the fast track.
Now, speaking of Oscars, we know that there's a controversy surrounding Cannes and the streaming platform Netflix. Explain to us what's happening there.
Sure. Well, as everybody knows, we've had a great disruption in this world over the last 20 years with media. Netflix really changed the game by allowing a high volume of content to be streamed directly into your homes. The argument, obviously, for the Cannes Film Festival is they want true cinema to take place in a movie theater. Obviously, Netflix sees it differently. They see an opportunity to bring volume of content to people who otherwise wouldn't have access to these art house films.
Now, the Netflix production Roma won 3 Oscars this year. It also premiered several films at the Sundance Film Festival. How long do you think film festivals like Cannes can realistically keep excluding streaming platforms' content?
It's a really tough question. I think you're going to see it split down the middle. I think you're going to see a lot of film festivals that accept Netflix pictures as well as Amazon pictures, because they are making high-quality movies with big stars and big directors. But you're going to see others who are purists, and they're going to insist that the film experience that's worthy of an Oscar campaign must be in a theater. Steven Spielberg recently came out against Netflix, and he says that their project should be awarded an Emmy instead of an Oscar.
Now, you mentioned Steven Spielberg, and he's been an outspoken critic of some of these streaming services, especially when it comes to qualifying for the Oscars. But talk about the way that streaming services are really impacting the traditional movie industry.
Well, a lot of people right now will say, I'm not going to go to the theater and see a film because it's going to be available within a matter of weeks or months on either Netflix or on cable. We've already seen sort of a shift from that. That said, you haven't seen a decline in the cinema experience. In fact, the numbers for box office are actually up. So it's kind of hard to say. We're going to see the cinema experience in theatrical films continue to grow for movies like Marvel films and Star Wars films. But it remains to be seen for smaller pictures if they'll just go straight to the television set.
Because there really was this question of whether some of these streaming services were going to disrupt filmmakers. But do you think that's then perhaps overblown?
Again, it's the experience that we're looking to talk about. I think the theatrical experience has been disrupted, but I think for a filmmaker who wants to have an audience that's larger see their picture, I think this is a better opportunity for them. Right out of the gate, you're talking about a global release that can see a bigger audience. The Sandra Bullock picture last year that came out, that saw 40 million downloads within the first week.
And you certainly have the convenience of streaming services versus the sort of movie-going experience of being in a theater. But talk about the demographics and the influence about these audiences.
Well, younger people are obviously watching this content on streaming services and are happy about it. It's available on their mobile device, which is where we all are at all times. Going to the theater is, it's an experience. You go out, you have to get the tickets, you have to get into the seat. One of the things that is more appealing to filmmakers is that shared experience. Many filmmakers design their pictures to be in a room with an audience, and you're losing that with a streaming service.
And what about the actors themselves? Obviously, there's a lot of very lucrative deals that we're seeing Netflix and these other streaming services put forward. Does it put them in a difficult position between having to choose between something that might not qualify for an award versus something with a really good paycheck?
I think so. If you look at a couple of years ago, you wouldn't see big stars in a television series. The streaming services have changed that, and you're getting a lot of big talent in television projects that they wouldn't otherwise have touched, as well as films.
So where do you see the filmmaking industry heading as more of these streaming platforms enter the market?
I think it's going to continue to be disruptive. And I see talent, actors, and directors that will go for the paycheck, that will go for the distribution opportunities of reaching a larger audience. But you're going to see a handful of people, like Quentin Tarantino, for example. He insists on shooting on film and projecting on film. So there'll be people who see this as a unique medium to be in the theater experience. But then there are others who will want to go for the audience size. I think that's going to be the big difference for storytellers, is trying to reach people.
All right, thank you so much. Neil Mandt from Burbank, California there, a partner in Mandt Brothers Productions.
Thank you.